When the Chinese Communist Party tweets about Uyghur women having had their minds emancipated by their policies in Xinjiang, you're not guilty by association because you're on Twitter. When an anti-Semitic Corbynista waxes lyrical about Jews, you're not guilty by association by being on Twitter. When anyone posts anything illegal on social media platforms, you're not guilty association because you're also a member of them. That's why I frankly find The Guardian's hit piece on me and government ministers and Conservative MPs for joining Parler, the free speech alternative to Twitter, and daring to argue that there needs to be an alternative full stop, it now seems, which of course now seems more important than ever before, by the way, as somehow being a tacit endorsement of the far right. On Twitter, you can be kicked off for daring to argue with the trendy social justice activists of the moment. Accounts are banned not for illegality or incitement, but for unfashionable speech. And that's probably why they're so scared of Parler, because those in Silicon Valley couldn't control it. It was an avenue in which speech and ideas could be discussed and debated with a very light-touch regulatory approach. At a time when these platforms are de facto the public square, yet cannot host their own website, they're silencing the opportunity here for dissenting voices to speak. And I think a good way of highlighting this, a good example, would be for you to consider that were we in 1990, imagine Twitter existed, and imagine I'm a little bit older than what I am. Until 1990, the World Health Organization said that homosexuality was a mental disorder. And were Twitter around then, were I to tweet saying that I don't believe I have a mental disorder by being gay, it would likely come with a fake news disclaimer below it, arguing that this is scientifically, I guess, disputed. And it's the same with mask wearing only last March. That's the problem with big tech deciding that they're defending us from fake news and sort of correct speech. It's through debating issues that you correct disinformation. It's by encouraging dialogue that you're able to reach conclusions about the right way forward for society at large. It's how we've reached conclusions for generation after generation. And it's terrifying to think what we'd have missed out on throughout our past were those dissenting views unable to voice their unfashionable opinions. And with cancellations, folks, being issued on a daily basis now, we need a platform where we can be on and not worry about the mainstream big tech giants chucking us off, all of them. That's why I support Parler and I stand by my comments about it. I won't be lectured by a paper that, jumps to describing those who voted to leave the EU's political and economic union as far right. It labels those who believe in border controls, for example, as hard right or alt right, and I won't take lectures from them when they're so grossly distorting of the truth when it comes to the meaning of these labels. The issue is that when they bastardize these words to such an extent, when they distort the severity of a word like racist or any other ear or ism, they render the words useless. They sort of dilute the impact of these words. So I can't wait for Parler to return, and I would ask those at The Guardian if they might consider joining those of us in standing up for your so-called liberal values by actually standing up for free speech, free expression and freedom of association. Then you might stop smearing us with these ridiculous and unjustifiable labels. So I say when Parler's back, come on in. We'll welcome you with open arms. I'm Darren Grimes for Reasoned UK. Reasoned relies upon grassroots donations from people like yourself that want us to continue producing our high-quality, free-thinking content. So please do consider clicking the link and donating, no matter how big, no matter how small, because it really does ensure that we can keep on keeping on.